Hello, and Happy New Year, everybody. It started rough, I must admit, but I hope we'll all make it through. If you haven't seen the last episode, I highly encourage you to catch up since I work on this huge cemetery. And I finished with a little preview of the area that you can see finished right now. It took a while, so enjoy the sped up clip of all the work I did. So as always, I choose few nice houses and place them randomly, and then I focus very much on aligning them to the road and decorating up close. I started off with adding some trees to hide all the wonky places that I didn't much focus on. There is never enough parking space, so it was essential to put it every now and then. Cemetery serves as a park, but I put little parks every now and then, mostly for aesthetic purposes. And here is just a sped up section of how I tried to align everything. I was lazy about backyards and decorating each lot, fence, etc. So I mostly squeezed everything tight so I don't have to work around each lot. So I kept the simulation going to keep the game running and mostly earn money, to be honest, because we spent quite a lot. So it already became dark and let's wait for the sunlight. In meantime, I've noticed the fires happening around, and to be honest, we've only made one fire station upon highway interchange, so it's slowly time to keep track of our services and place more of them as we go further with the build, so I started off with the fire station. And I placed this very little fire station. I think it only generates like 2 fire trucks and I haven't seen it working yet. So nothing crazy, a little bit of decor, and I got disturbed with citizens complaining about water quality, so I just went to quickly fix it, aka moving the pumping station away from the sewage because that was the problem. And yes, I know we will have to work on it a little bit. I think it's time that more management should be introduced because I mostly do it off camera, but I'm not sure whether supposed to be only a building series or aesthetic series. I want the city to be functional and show you how I try to do this. Fast forward, it's day again and it's about the time for final finishes. And as always, the terrain was a challenge, but I tried to work around it. I'm a bit angry that the building control mod, which basically allows you to sink in the buildings into hills and it's very helpful, it does not work with Move It mod, which is kinda stupid, or maybe I'm stupid and can't figure it out. Maybe you know the solution, but I just had to play around with it and just move everything manually, and and it was tiring. So next night I work on supermarket, which is a new addition in the town. Just as with fire station, the main commercial street is pretty far and we yet did not make any bigger supermarkets. I mean the European idea of bigger, not the US one, not like crazy Walmart or whatever. So this is Aldi. I I even added tracks at the back, and as I'm thinking about it, maybe I could play around with more props like pallets with the goods waiting to be reloaded or something like this, or bigger garbage bins. Yeah, it's simple, it's functional. I, as always, encourage you to play around. It's only an idea of what you can do in the city. And speaking of tracks, it's finally time for the bigger build of the episode, which is Highway Stop for Trucks. You could probably guess that from the thumbnail or title. So it's supposed to be stop for trucks, but also for the tourists, citizens traveling in and out of the city. I started off with organizing surrounding roads a little bit. We'll get back to it later. It's only for the for the surrounding area, and I leveled the terrain around the highway stop. And the highway part over here was raised, so to avoid possible issues with weird flattening of roads when I will be connecting them, I changed it to the ground level. I then used Network Multitool to create parallel road, and this road is from Parking Collection, and is, again, you can see it in my collection of theme, and it's supposed to serve as a parking lot entry, and for sure we'll use it for that, but since it's narrow and has a nice shade, I decided to use it for the whole area. And I also created nice entry points and made sure that they are all nice and neat using Node Controller. And it was about the time to figure out the layout, mostly where the parking lots will be placed, as well to find spots for greenery and gas station and restaurant. Well, restaurant is too big of a word, since I went with KFC, whatever. I went with BP gas station. I tried to make it functional, but there is a cool mod, it's called Real Gas Station, and like it says, it allows you to make all the gas station functional. But I had some issues, and also we don't have yet oil industry, and it requires oil industry if I'm not wrong. So I figured out it will be problematic at this point, and I will probably just fix that in the future, but still I like the realism of actual gas station being in such place. So I placed, like I said, I placed KFC. The funny thing is I've never had KFC chicken. Funny fact. Random fun fact. Worked a bit on pickles, mostly cobbled to hide some, again, wonky spaces and oops moments when using surface tool. I added street decals like arrows, so it looks kind of like used up the asphalt, the road. The arrows are only for decoration, they don't drive, right? They show you to drive. I think you can see a few cool examples right now. So then I made this little space for parking toilets. You know, all this highway rest stop has this, they always look the same. This table set is actually functional, so it's a bonus point, and I hope this will make the area more alive. Then I made this green spot with dining tables, a bit of greenery, to re-energize after the long drive. And as I was decorating it with greenery, I put some of the random bushes along the edge of the lots. And I put the chain fence here. It's not lined up perfectly and it annoys me a little bit, but can't do much about it all because I struggle with lineup to this day. But yeah, I didn't want to add too much of the hedge or something like this. Not everything is fenced. I left some spaces because there's tons of greenery and grass, and I think it would look too artificial if I just closed everything up with the So another small dining area over here, and then I added parking lots, like actual parking spots places. Put lots of energy chargers as we are in the Tesla era, and then I work on dedicated lots solely for trucks. So for that I used nice decals. I think it's sort of cargo zone decal, but it fits nicely, and I downloaded some of the new truck props assets. And if you want to know what assets I use, check out the description. I just slam everything in it, so it might be messy but informative also. I put another lot as it looked a bit empty, and then again I placed some truck related props. You could easily go with like more, I don't know, cargo stuff, but I don't want it to be heavy on my PC on this gameplay. So it's time for fences and greenery. I basically copied the segments and place it along the roads and clean it a little bit. It speeds up the work and make it more cohesive, so I think I'm fine with it. I wasn't sure what to do in the middle, so I went with this retaining wall set, which is amazing. I love everything from that, let's call it pack. I kind of regretted that I did not use it along the whole highway road, but was also like, nah, it will be fine. Nothing that few stones and greenery can fix. Now it's time to take a glance from afar, and here you go.